Statistical education has undergone a sea shift as a result of the advent of user-friendly statistical software. With a single click, students may change variables, produce distribution graphs, and pick from a variety of statistical studies. However, despite these developments, statistics may still be a difficult subject for students to grasp.
Toy play is well documented as an essential part of a child's growth and development. Toys are more than just playthings for children of all ages, they may be used in a variety of imaginative and creative ways. Toys may teach children valuable life skills by allowing them to practice them in a fun and engaging way. Elastic waves and their propagation through solid things, such as the Earth, are the focus of seismology, a branch of geophysics. Earthquake environmental consequences like tsunamis, as well as different seismic causes such as volcanic activity, tectonic plate motion, glacial runoff, fluvial flow, oceanic wave motion, and man-made processes like explosions, are all part of this field's scope. Paleoseismology is a closely related subject that makes use of geology to deduce information about prior earthquakes.
Trump has threatened to declare China a currency manipulator, but experts say he has a little legal or economic basis to take such a step. He has also threatened to impose a tariff of up to 45% on Chinese imports if Beijing doesn't behave, a move that could lead to a trade war and damage the economies of both nations.
It's projected that, over the next 100 years, temperatures on Earth could rise an average of nearly 5 degrees Celsius. While some animals might be able to migrate north to escape the brunt of the heat, plants can't uproot themselves quite so easily. Researchers wondered whether the creatures that disperse plant seeds might be able to help. Unlike a desktop computer, a laptop is portable. There is less storage capacity in laptops since they are smaller, lighter, and have fewer ports. While away from home or the workplace, users may access email, compose messages, and surf the Internet using laptop computers. Most computers are priced between $400 and $1,500.
In the UK and abroad, volunteering is a popular choice for recent graduates who want to give something back. Volunteer initiatives can cost anything from nothing to several £1000s, so it's important to thoroughly research the project before signing up.
In his own topic, the student's reading speed and understanding deteriorate. He expresses himself slowly and sometimes misinterprets what he's trying to communicate. The fact that he makes so many mistakes when he's under a lot of stress is upsetting to him, as he understands the right linguistic forms. Due to his sluggish verbal prowess, his social interactions are challenging since he can't find the correct words to keep a conversation going quickly enough. Rather than the other way around, it appears that the students are now in charge of the language. The Prime Minister's formal letter of notification was delivered in Brussels on 29 March 2017. It included withdrawal from the European Atomic Energy Community. The letter recognized that consequences for the UK of leaving the EU included loss of influence over the rules that affect the European economy, and UK companies trading within the EU aligning with rules agreed by institutions of which the UK would no longer be part. It proposed agreeing to 7 principles for the conduct of the withdrawal negotiation. Over the next century, the Earth's temperature is expected to rise by an average of 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Unlike animals, plants can't just uproot themselves and go north to avoid the worst of the heat. Researchers wondered if the animals that spread plant seeds would be able to aid. Much of today's business is conducted across international borders, and while the majority of the global business community might share the use of English as a common language, the nuances and expectations of business communication might differ greatly from culture to culture.
The current policy approaches fail to address the underlying question of why so many mass shootings occur in schools. Students' experiences in school and the significance of schools in American life must be examined to address this topic. Despite the fact that some of these procedures appear rational, there is no data to suggest that they reduce the chance of mass shootings at schools. Biomass energy, derived from living organisms, has been utilized by humans for cooking and heating purposes since the first cavemen. Biomass is derived from living creatures, such as plants and animals, and is thus organic. Plants, wood, and garbage are the most frequent biomass resources utilized to generate energy. In addition to the financial costs of floods, heat waves, and droughts, every ton of carbon dioxide that humans produce comes at a price in human lives. If we drastically reduce emissions now, we can spare the lives of tens of millions of people in the coming century. Art history and studio art are both important components of our curriculum at the Fine Arts Department, and we strive to promote both modern and traditional Chinese art and culture. Our department has played a key role in the education of artists and art historians across the country and beyond the world.
Global management is a curriculum designed to provide you with the information and abilities necessary to lead effectively in a variety of corporate contexts and multicultural situations. The curriculum recognizes that, in terms of culture and demand, today's marketplaces are becoming increasingly complicated and dynamic, that information and communication are critical to success, and that social responsibility for sustainability and corporate entrepreneurship are critical. The definition of a disaster varies by organization. Various entities have different pain thresholds that define when an incident becomes a disaster. A bank, for example, will have different criteria than a poison control hotline. With this fact in mind, any organization should begin the process of implementing first alert and response teams after it has completed a business impact analysis. Happiness is contagious, and that's a terrible fact. Is it now possible to at least partially explain this phenomenon? The Journal of Neurology published it this week. A functional MRI equipment was used to examine the brains of participants who were subjected to various noises, including laughing, by a British study team. The premotor cortex region of the brain was stimulated by all of the noises, and this area gets the face muscles ready to move.
Pollination of crops by honeybees and native bees has long been a mainstay for farmers. Wild bees are required now more than ever since honeybees are dying in significant numbers. However, wild bees are also decreasing. It's no longer possible to maintain the thick web of plant-pollinator interactions that used to exist. Your professors will discuss the material you're learning in class. When it comes time to take exams, you'll need to know what they teach you. If you want to retain what your teacher says, you'll need to be able to write it down.